Well, before chronic pain, I traveled all over the place. You know, I could get jobs in different places in the world. I worked in Bermuda. I went to work there in a beautiful spa. I went out to Vancouver Island and I worked out there, and I could travel around. And I felt like a free spirit. I could go anywhere I wanted. So it was very active. You know, I was able to travel and do different things I wanted to. I had more um, ability to actually and go wherever I wanted to and do whatever I wanted to. I could go bike riding. I could go sailing. You know, I could do things, do things I didn't have any limitations anymore. Um, but once I had the pain, I was controlled by my pain. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't. I couldn't go out and do anything with friends. I would actually stayed indoors a lot, just because I had to deal with my pain. It was painful to have to go through that emotionally as well as physically. Well, after I had two car accidents. So my first car accident, it was a real shock because I didn't realize I was in pain. It was just before a New Year's party, the day before the New Year's. And I went to the New Year's party and had a great time. Everybody was like, oh, you know, Happy New Year, da 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 da. And then, of course, we had our holidays because of New Year's Day. You've got holidays. Go back to work on the 3rd of January. I was working at a rehab clinic. I started to work with my first client. It was a half-hour massage. And within 5 minutes, I got dizzy. And all of a sudden I couldn't do anything. And I was like, what's this? I didn't realize that the shock of the accident from 3 days before would take that long. I didn't think I had to go to the doctor or anything. And all of a sudden that was it. I went to see the chiropractor, told him I couldn't work. And he goes, why didn't you let us know? I said, I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know that I was going to have any problem. I just thought, oh, I'm okay, I've just been shaken up. Oh my God, well, I'll tell you, I got shaken up. I was in so much pain, and the dizziness wouldn't go away. It got worse and worse. I couldn't sleep. I had to put ice on my neck and my legs all the time. And I gradually got better from that. It took a lot. I couldn't understand why patients would come in and say, oh, I had the accident like a week or 10 days ago. I said, why didn't you come in right away? They said the same thing. I didn't know until a week later. Then I was in pain. So it was a real learning experience for me to actually have it myself and go through this. And then I was getting better, and I actually had I was in a walking program. I'd started to walk, and I was hit by a car. I mean, I was a pedestrian, and they ran over my foot and then knocked me over. And I was in a lot of pain and had to go for therapy. I couldn't work. I was just getting ready to go back to work, and I couldn't go back to work. So my life was like, to me, over. And I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe that happened to me. It's like who gets hit by a car. But I was like the 10th person in the 2-week period, and I never thought that would happen to me. It took a very deep toll on me in order to be able to get out and do anything, because it was very difficult to get around. I finally got a cane. A friend of mine gave me a cane. Actually, you gave me a cane. I was like, I don't need a cane. Had to go for therapy like every day. Sometimes I had acupuncture therapy at the same day as I had a shiatsu massage. I was like 5 days a week I was having treatment. I was like, I had no life. It was like, what kind of life do I have left? I went from working, traveling, and living in, you know, exotic countries and on islands and at beautiful spas, to now not being able to do anything. And all I could do was, everything I did was geared around going to appointments. And I had to make them late in the day because half the time I couldn't sleep at night. I'd be up in the middle of the night massaging myself because having been a massage therapist, I knew shiatsu, I knew the acupuncture. I was doing all the meridians. I was like, all night long, I'd be like, press, 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 trying to move the pain. I really have a hard time taking any drugs. I don't like taking any drugs. But every now and again, somebody would give me a little toke of marijuana, and I would go, oh my God, and I can move. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I was in shock that it actually did that. Just like 2 puffs. That was it. And I was like I was really pleasantly surprised, because suddenly I could move, you know, and then it gave me a little bit of life. But that was very rare, and so other times I was like, stayed at home, and I hibernated. You know, you never saw me, because I would stay in. All I could do was go to my appointments, stay home, take care of myself, and nobody wanted to be around me. I was in pain all the time. Why would they want to be around me? I was like, all I'm doing is complaining about my aches and pains. That's no fun. They don't want to be with you. And I got depressed, really, really depressed. Had to go to a psychiatrist for treatment, and that didn't really help much, you know, because they just want to put you on medication, and I don't want to be on medication. So that was difficult, very difficult. There are times where I ride my bike, which is great because it's less weight bearing, so it's easier. And I always thought it would strengthen my legs more, like my thighs, because that's my problems with my knees and my hips. And yet, sometimes it has and sometimes it hasn't. I mean, my last accident was in 2010, so we're coming up to like 5 years. And I can't believe that 5 years later, I'm still going through this, that I'm still in pain, that I still have limitations. But there are days when I'm walking and I go down, walk from my place down to Queen Street, and I walk along the street and I have a cane, and usually I have to stop 3 or 4 times on the way and stretch. And so I'll be stretching and I'll be leaning into a pole, you know, to try and stretch out my thighs or stretch out my back legs or lift my leg up onto a rock or something. And people always stop and they go, are you okay? And I look at them and I go, yeah, I'm fine, I'm just stretching, I've been hit by a car. And they go, oh, okay. I said, but I'm okay, I'm just stretching out because I hurt. It hurts to walk. But people often will stop and ask if I'm okay. And I look and I think, as I'm, you know, letting them know that I'm okay, I'm thinking, I just wish I could walk like you, because you're walking so easily, and it's like, I remember when I could, and I wonder if I ever will. I really do. I really wonder, am I ever going to be able to walk easily again? And I don't think I will. It's hard. I mean, like, it's hard to even imagine that I probably won't be able to. I remember saying once to Dr. DeLaury, I just want my walk back. I just want my walk back. That was after the first accident. And all of a sudden, about, 4 months later, I felt it come back. Well, I don't think it's going to come back now, after this one. And I'm older, so it's harder to imagine that it will. So that's pretty depressing. Well, financially, it really took a toll on me, because I was, as I said, I just had an injury with my thumb, and I couldn't move my thumb. It was like, I couldn't do that. If I moved my thumb, it snapped, and it was in a lot of pain. And I would massage it, and that took about a year to clear up. And finally I got it cleared up, and I thought, okay, I can go back to work now and do massage. I mean, I even thought I could go to work and do it without my thumb, but you can't. So I was just getting ready, and so I was on social assistance at the time, because I didn't have any money to live on. And that was very, very hard, because they don't give you enough money to live on. So that was difficult. I was already having that problem, and I was just about to go back to work, and I couldn't go back to work. So then you have to, let them know how badly you need some extra money in order to get food for your diet, because it's very limiting what they're going to give you, and because you're in pain, and because my body weight gained, my body started gaining weight because I couldn't eat properly, couldn't afford the food. I thought I was going to be at a place where I was going to be able to put some money away for my senior days, and all of a sudden my plans were kiboshed. No more. I was not able to do it. I made good money as a massage therapist. I made good money doing some of my other work that I did, but I just couldn't do anything. I couldn't focus on doing anything for anybody else. All I had to do was work for myself. And then once even the settlement came from the car accident, I got a car, thank goodness I was able to do that, but all the other money had to go to pay all the therapists that I had given me appointments, treatments, because I owed them. So there was no money left. So you still, even though you get the settlement, is not enough to do anything because they don't give you enough, and so you're still stuck in the same place. So, I even tried to go out and work at a $10, $11 hour job, which is really hard. It takes like 12, 14 hours out of your day getting there. People said, oh, you should go and just do some massage work. You can make more money like that. I said, what am I going to do? I'm going to walk in with my cane, and go, here I am to give you your massage. Like, they're not going to hire me. It's not going to work. I wasn't able to get any jobs anywhere because I didn't even try. I mean, I wouldn't even do that because it was really hard. Like, they don't want to accept you, and so then you start accepting yourself because, it's like you can't do what you used to do. You used to be able to be there for other people. Sometimes I would have somebody come to my house for a massage, and it was like I could do one massage a week. That was it. I mean, that's all I could do. Because then I could do that. It felt great, but I had to take care of myself. I didn't have the ability to be able to do any more than that. And I used to work on 12 to 15 people a day in a rehab center. That's a lot of people, and to be able to only do one, it's like your self-esteem just goes down the tube. And so it's been very, very challenging financially. So it's been very painful, emotionally and physically and spiritually. It's been hard.